alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, for tonight's main event. 15 rounds, middleweights going at it between Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake Lamotta. Sugar Ray Robinson's now making his way to the ring, and you can see how focused he is for the task at hand. Jake LaMotta's making that final walk that separates man and warrior, soon to be embattled there in the ring.
All right, gentlemen, protect yourself at all times. Let's touch them up.
Round number one is now underway. All the talk is done. It is simply time to fight. Teddy, Jake LaMotta going up against Sugar Ray Robinson again. You know, he's got that famous quote, "I fought sugar so many times I got diabetes." Well, what does he have to do to have the sweet taste of sugar, not the bad one?
Believe it or not, Joe, treat the judges a little bit better, because those other fights, they were so close, some of them, that you could flip a coin. You know, the things that he did well, do them again. He took the jab away from the great Sugar Ray Robinson. LaMotta, the shorter man, not nearly as fast. He would slip his head a little bit, and he would throw that jab from an angle where he could score. Keep doing that, you know, and just step it up a little bit on the inside. Instead of throwing 3, throw 4, throw 5.
See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. Halfway through round number one. Jake LaMotta with a counterpunch. But there's a spot that his opponent doesn't want to be in. You see him backing him up against the ropes. Good block there by Sugar Ray Robinson. You can see he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. And a smart counterpunch by Ray. Oh! LaMotta's in a bad place right now. He was tagged.
Give me the double jab. You're not giving me the double jab. You're only giving me one jab at a time, okay? You got that? You're only giving me one jab.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Notre Dame to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
Ray Robinson with 108 knockouts. You're lucky if a lot of fighters have had 108 fights, even back in his day.
Look, he was a great puncher with either hand, had great speed. He could put punches together in combination. He could use his legs, or he could fight with you. And one thing that sometimes gets forgotten about is he had one of the great chins in the history of the sport. That guy had an iron beard.
the favor with a right hand of his own. Back and forth they go, each man getting the best of it. That's a good block by Jake Lamotta. A good two-punch combo by Ray. Sugar Ray Robinson's cut is on the cheek, and you can see that it's bothering him a bit right now. That's something we'll keep our eye on. Good way to protect the midsection. Nice counter by Lamotta. So they close out that round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, I know you watch very closely how these trainers go about their business. You were under the tutelage of one of the true legends of the game, the great Customato.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate. Quite honestly, those opportunities, situations probably don't exist anymore because we've lost a lot of those, you know, really great trainers and managers that boxing was their whole life. I spent 7 years with Customato, and I learned the nuts and bolts from a physical, technical point of view of what's important to give to a fighter, but the psychological part. To understand the pressures that a fighter is under, the fears that a fighter deals with. And if you don't understand that, all the other things don't mean anything, because you have to understand how a fighter's feeling to understand why he's behaving or not behaving a certain way.
And they're swelling around his eyes. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top.
Let's move. Work the body.
Teddy, if you could only pick out a few characteristics for a fighter and apply them to them, what would they be?
Well, I think first of all would be the ability to overcome and the ability to be dependable. Everyone looks at the neon things, the speed, the power, they're tangible. We feel comfortable with those things. We can grab onto those things. But what about the talent of somebody being able to make a choice, a hard choice, in a very dark place?
Nice block by Ray. If I'm his opponent, I look at that eye and I say, that's the magic button. Keep going right there, touch it, touch it, touch it, and we could get a stoppage here.
Well, you're not wrong, but also it could work the other way to your detriment. You could be looking for that spot so much that now you're throwing one punch at a time. You're looking just for that. You're not doing the other things. You're not using the jab to set it up. You're not going to the body. And maybe you actually allow your opponent to survive longer because he could see that one shot coming. He could avoid that one shot.
10 clicks of the talk. As we come to the end of the round, Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, that's one of those rounds where I wonder what were the judges looking for, because it's tough to kind of draw a line between those two fighters.
Yeah, very close, but one of those rounds where you could steal it. You did a little bit more in those last 30, 20 seconds. Maybe that's the impression the judges are left with.
Listen, I'm not going to stand here and watch you take those shots. You understand me? Let's see more defense and more punches.
Here we go with the fourth round. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by Sugar Ray Robinson. Oh, they both land flush with uppercuts. Jake LaMotta's defense did a good job there, able to avoid that punch. Sugar Ray Robinson's not showing us that he understands just how effective he can be if he went downstairs against his opponent.
Yeah, well, you know what you're saying, Joe? You're taking a peek and you're taking a swipe without meaning at his trainers. Because what he's telling you is he hasn't been taught some of the rudiments of boxing. That when you hurt a guy, you should go downstairs to finish him.
Halfway through this round here. Lamotta blocks that punch. Nice counter by Lamotta. That's a tried and true method that works out very well. The counter punch landing by Ray. How is he taking these kind of shots and just dismissing them? What a chin on this guy.
Yeah, well, what a neck on him. Look at that neck. I mean, it's about 19 inches. That is the shock absorber. But the rest of it is he's seeing it. He has good vision. He sees the shots coming, and he's making up his mind they're not taking him anywhere.
Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Sugar Ray Robinson.
You gotta protect yourself.
So the round comes to an end. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas sitting with you ringside. I know you had a very busy week before you flew here out to broadcast this fight, doing your charitable contributions back in Staten Island with the Dr. Theodore Atlas Foundation.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Joe. We did well. We had our dinner, our yearly dinner, where we're able to raise money to help people that are in need, people that have nowhere else to go for help, whether it's a mother that can't pay the cancer treatment for a 7-year-old daughter, and we're able to pick up that insurance. But the thing that I want to take a second to thank everybody for is that it's a collective effort. It's all the people that allow us the resources to go out there and help those people.
Good counter punching there with the overhand right. Jake LaMotta blocks a punch. What a good counter punch by Sugar Ray Robinson. That was a miss by Ray. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut. Sugar Ray Robinson became the first boxer in history to win a world championship in the same division 5 different times. He did that when he beat Carmen Basilio in 1958 to get that middleweight title back.
And you have to remember, back in those days, these were full titles. You know, you didn't have the junior welterweight, you didn't have the junior middleweight and super middleweight. Otherwise, he would have won maybe 100 different weight classes. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but he did it when there were the pure defined weight classes. He did it during a time when the greatest fighters, maybe in the history of the sport, were competing against each other.
Able to cover up that gut. Off to the side, a little swing and a miss going upstairs. Round comes to an end here. An enjoyable night sitting ringside. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas. A lot better than our day we spent at the horse track the other day, where we couldn't get any winners, at least I couldn't. But we were talking about the fact that so many parallels to be made between boxing and life boxing and all these other sports we enjoy, like horse racing, of being well-conditioned and working your way up to this one singular moment.
Yeah, well, the trainer obviously has to get the athlete. In this case, the athlete happens to be over 1,000 pounds, and that's a horse. You know, at peak condition, he has to look at a calendar just like a trainer does with a fighter, know when the race is, know when the fight is, and not get used up out on the track, or used up, of course, in the gym.
Teddy, is this becoming a mental thing with him? I mean, he's not firing off the big power punches. I got to wonder why.
You know, that's a good question. Sometimes a guy is making a solid agreement in his mind that maybe if I don't hit him hard, he won't hit me hard back. He's not confident enough now to throw the punches without worrying about what had come back at him.
Always good to have Sugar Ray Robinson in action. Originally born, his birth name Walker Smith Jr. I think Sugar Ray's a little more fitting for him, isn't it, Teddy?
Yes, it is, because he just has a sweet, sweet style.
Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Right to the head and right to the canvas. Robinson has to figure things out. He's been down, he's rising up, and looking to continue on.
You know what, Joe? He has envisioned this moment before. He's laid in bed before fighting and said, what happens if this happens? He knows exactly how he's going to act, exactly how he's going to behave, and he knows he's going to pull it out in a correct way.
Parries that punch intended for the head. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. Lamotta blocks that punch. Final 10 seconds of the 6th round. End of the round. A round in which a knockdown was scored. Now, Teddy, if you're the trainer in the corner of the guy scoring the knockdown, what are some of the things you want to remind him of?
You want to remind him how he got there, because a lot of times it's the tendency to just remember the punch that put him there. He dressed him up. He set that punch up. Don't think about just the punch that landed. Think about the setup punches.
Keep circling, don't stand in front of it. Nice work. He's hurt. I need you to jump on him in this round, all right?
He's got to find a way to get through the early goings here of this round. Remember last round, he went down. He was on the canvas.
Now, look, he wants to tie his opponent up. That's the best way to get through it right now. But what he doesn't want to do, Joe, is to reach in there, reach out to grab his guy, and then he leaves himself open. He's got to make sure that his opponent's close enough where he goes to grab him, he's not exposing himself to get dropped again.
Able to cover up that gut. Sugar Ray Robinson's out to show everybody that he's fine. But we saw what happened in the last round. He was knocked down in that last round. Does he have to prove something to himself as well as proving something to everybody in this arena?
Well, that's the right question, Joe. He's got to revisit his memory banks a little bit and know that he's already proven it to himself. He's been in this position before, so he has to regain that confidence and understand that he can deal with this. He's done it before.
Sugar Ray Robinson's coming up with the answers, avoiding that punch. I don't know how they are keeping this up. They are setting such a scorching pace of action in this fight. Sugar Ray was named Fighter of the Year twice, first in 1942, and most recently, at the end of the last century, he was named the best pound for pound of all time, as well as Fighter of the Decade in the 1950s. Now, the 1950s was part of that golden age of the sport among all weight classes.
Yeah, he was fighting even before that, and those are the years where, as you just said very well, Joe, you had so many good fighters all fighting each other and so much activity. That's what people forget about, is there were so many clubs around. Every major city had 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6, 7 clubs. So there was a lot of action. You could fight easily once a week.
Well, as that round comes to an end, it gives us a moment to kind of reflect on this overall fight. And Teddy, my thoughts are pretty clear cut. This is the kind of fight that just takes on a personality of its own. This is an all-out war.
Yeah, this is kind of like watching a guy who's not on a budget. He's spending with both hands. When he goes home, he's going to have no money in his pockets. And when this fight is over, these guys are going to have nothing left in the gas tank, and it's probably not going to a decision.
Just focus on the fight, and we'll take care of the swelling.
And we are underway for what is the second half of this fight. Who knows what we're in store for? Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head.
What do you think the right time is to stop a fight under circumstances like this? I mean, the swelling around the eye is getting really bad.
Well, part of it is he getting caught with punches clean that he wouldn't be getting caught with if the eye wasn't in that condition. That's where you start right there. Is his defense been impaired that much to that degree?
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Lamotta's almost out of it there. He was stunned. Sugar Ray Robinson's mounting a comeback here, Teddy. Things were going against him. Now the tide is turned.
Good things come to those who wait, or those who persevere. He persevered, good things are happening.
Jake LaMotta with a counterpunch. Gets rid of that body shot. He's bleeding from his cheek.
Work the body.
That was not well targeted by Ray. Sugar Ray Robinson's losing badly. I mean, do you see it any other way, Teddy? He's losing this fight.
Yeah, he is, and he's got to turn it around. And I think it's too late, and I hate to say this as a trainer, but to start doing all the fundamental things that usually you bring to a fight, it's too late for that. He needs to find a way to land a big shot.
That's typically not the message you hand out.
No, it's not, because the more you look for a big shot, the more you don't find it. You leave yourself wide open. But he's gotten himself painted into that corner right now.
Whatever he misses, count it. Where's your body work? Hit the body. Nice one. Nice one. Keep it up. This guy's never felt a beating like this. Keep the pressure up. The swelling is nothing.
All right, let's do it.
Focus on the fight.
The action starts up again, but it's only favored one man. Hard to see this fight going the distance based on what we've witnessed so far. Jake LaMotta with a counterpunch. Firing off the uppercuts. Great exchange. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut. You know, we see that he's made a stylistic change after being stunned here in this fight. But what about his opponent? Does his opponent have to make a change as well?
Well, he's got to adapt too. If he sees that what was working before for him.
Oh! LaMotta's in a bad spot right now. He's been stunned.
No holding.
He's bleeding from the side of his face there. Threw the straight right hand, but didn't score with it. Jake LaMotta with a counterpunch. Nice counter by LaMotta. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Sugar Ray Robinson stunned, and he is hurt. See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. And as this round comes to an end, Teddy, you just get the sense that at any point this fight could come to an end because it is being fought with bad intentions.
Yes, these guys are not behaving like guys that are coming here thinking about going to the scorecards. They're letting everything go in every punch.
All right. Let's work on that cut. Let's get on that swelling. Get the compress on that.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. He's got a real problem on his hands right now. That cut has worsened to the point where clearly the referee's giving it a look. He's thinking about stopping this fight. Is this the time now, Teddy, where the fighter has to understand that and try to end the fight on his own terms?
Well, it's a catch-22 right now, Joe, because he has to be more defensive-minded. He has to make sure that he doesn't catch any more leather in that area to worsen that cut. But he also has to find some offense to slow this guy down, to give him a reason to start stepping back instead of stepping forward.
Sugar Ray Robinson's trying to get his man off of him. You see him shoving and pushing. Jake Lamotta is able to avoid that punch. Sugar Ray Robinson's struggling ever since he got stunned earlier in this fight. Teddy, what's the answer here?
Well, the answer right now is to recover a little bit. He doesn't have to worry about winning this round. He just wants to survive the round, tie him up a little bit, and get those cobwebs out of his mind, out of his head.
Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Round comes to an end here. Glad you've joined us ringside. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas on another night at the fights. We're with you all year long, every step of the way, as is our crew. And the guys just don't get enough credit sitting back there in the production truck, but they make all this happen, Teddy.
Yeah, they do. Of course, Rick, Robbie, Mike, all you guys, Brian, Scott, Russ. We appreciate you doing all the difficult work while we get a chance to sit out here and enjoy the fun part. And by the way, you guys, after we just said that, you guys are picking up the tab tonight.
They start up again. Back to action here with another round. But who knows how much longer it'll last. This has been a completely one-sided fight. Lamotta blocks that punch. Just not there. Straight right hand off the mark. Good way to protect the midsection. Jake Lamotta is showing you a little defensive skill there, able to move away from that punch. Jake LaMotta with a counter punch. Jake LaMotta's jab is now carrying this fight for him from the outside.
Yeah, because the jab is carrying the fight. You know, it all starts with that jab. And right now, that jab is leading the way.
What a great round. 2 minutes in, 60 seconds to go. Lamotta blocks that punch. there on the punch by Ray. As we come to the end of the round, Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, that's one of those rounds where I wonder what were the judges looking for, because it's tough to kind of draw a line between those two fighters.
Yeah, very close, but one of those rounds where you could steal it. You did a little bit more in those last 30, 20 seconds. Maybe that's the impression the judges are left with.
And work on that cut. It's nothing. The cut's nothing. Don't worry about it. Listen, you need to move your head from side to side, okay? I want to see that head move.
Another round underway, but how many more will we see? You get the sense this fight could be heading towards a stoppage. Lamotta blocks that punch. Good way to protect the midsection. Not what he was looking for. That's a miss right there by Sugar Ray Robinson. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Sugar Ray Robinson.
Use your feet.
That was not well targeted by Ray. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. 1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. His opponent wanted the body, he wouldn't give it to him. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Jake Lamotta. Nice counter by Lamotta. Round comes to an end here. And Teddy, I know you've had a very busy week. You've been training some pro football players this week. There are many parallels to be made between the pro fight game and the pro football game.
Yeah, there are, you know, physical ones and emotional, mental ones. I mean, the physical ones are when I work with some of these behemoths, you know, like offensive linemen. They have to punch out, you know, with their arms. They have to make sure that they get those hands out now. If they raise their elbows, just like a fighter raising his elbow before he throws a jab, they lose the power. So you got to teach them to keep those elbows in, punch out without any telegraph, without any loss of power, and also get those hands out at the right distance. If they're a little late, the big guy gets in on them. And now he can control him. And, of course, the mental aspects of it, where they get into those dark rooms we talk about every once in a while, where they have to remember that they have control. They can make the choice. You know, you get in those dark rooms, you start to think that you lose control of the choice, that your opponent's making a choice for you. No.
Holy cow! Sugar Ray Robinson's been stunned. Blocks away that headshot. And he goes down again. Will he get up from this? So now Sugar Ray Robinson has to figure things out. He's been down, he's rising up, and looking to continue on.
You know what, Joe? He has envisioned this moment before. He's laid in bed before fighting, said, what happens if this happens? He knows exactly how he's going to act, exactly how he's going to behave, and he knows he's going to pull it out in a correct way.
Took a shot, now he gives a left. A minute to go in what has been a memorable round. Great stuff from these two. Jake LaMotta with a counterpunch.
Jake Lamotta's strategy has been to control things on the outside, and the jab fits perfectly into it.
Yeah, what it's done is it's set up his defense. It's kept his opponent defensive, kept him off balance, off stride, and it's also set up his power shots whenever he's wanted to.
Don't worry. Don't look for just big punches, okay? Use your speed. Double up your punches. I want to see combos. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Cut. There's nothing. A small cut, nothing to worry about. Get the compress on. Get the compress on this. Let's work on this one.
So here we are, all wondering, can he survive the start of this round after the way we saw him go down in that last round?
Well, it's up to his opponent. Now, his opponent gets a little careless and he rushes in a little bit too close. He can get a chance to grab those hands and tie him up. And then he can kill a little of the clock, survive.
Jake LaMotta with a counterpunch.
He's showing very good footwork. He's showing fine defensive movement here. But as for the opponent, how do you solve that?
Well, you got to make believe you're a football player. You got to make believe you're a linebacker in football. You go down the line with that running back. You don't go following around the place. You make sure you move laterally. That's exactly what he's got to do. He's got to cut that ring down, take space away.
Oh! Sugar Ray Robinson stunned and he is hurt.
Hey, no holding, no holding.
We've seen this many times before, and maybe that time has arrived for him now. He's got a bad cut, so possibly a sense of urgency here that he's got to get after it and make something happen now before the fight ends.
Yeah, and it could be a good and bad. I know that you like to say there's always a silver lining in every great cloud, but you say, how could that be when a guy's cut? But if it gets this fighter now motivated and inspired to pick up his offense, something that he hasn't been doing, well, you know what? His corner will take it. They'd rather do without the bleeding, but they need those punches to start flowing.
Able to get away from that headshot with the block.
This is it. Last round. Finish this smartly, okay? You have this one. Just be smart, and you have this one. Throw punches, okay? Don't walk into it without throwing a punch. Listen, this is it. One more round. I want you to catch him on the way in. Time your uppercut when he comes forward.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nostradamus to know that. I mean,
All right, you knew the swelling was bad. Now you see the result. The ref stepping in, stopping this fight. That's a TKO. Sugar Ray Robinson's your winner by technical knockout.
saw a little bit of everything tonight. You know, you saw he could fight inside, outside, and you saw he had a pretty good set of whiskers, too.
Solid victory for him. And for us, we say goodnight. For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us, everyone.